updated foundation routine slash review of the new foundation I'm using, which is, as you can see by the title, the Benefit Hello Flawless Oxygen Wow Foundation. I had recently been using BB creams. I've been using BB creams nearly every single day for the summer, but there's obviously those days where I do want a little more of a full coverage. If I'm going somewhere, if I'm going out at night or anything like that, I don't really want a tinted moisturizer. So I was in the market for a new foundation. Benefit's one of my favorite makeup brands in general. So I recently went to the Benefit counter and I had been super interested in it. So I asked her if she could just apply it to my skin. I tested that out. And I loved how it made me look. She had it on one side of my face like initially so I could see the difference. And it was amazing. The foundation is a very liquidy consistency. And for me at least, I have extremely dry skin. So liquidy consistency is typically something I go for. So it's a very liquidy foundation. It's not a cream, it's not a gel. It definitely has a dewy finish. It dries with a very dewy finish. If you have oily skin, would try it in on the counter, or like ask someone if they could test it out on your skin. I would do that no matter what skin type you are, but if you have dry skin, I think you're a lot more inclined to like this, because at least for me, I have dry skin, but I still want my skin to look dewy and I don't want it to look oily. So it's all about finding that perfect combination of something that works with your skin type, but then also makes it look like skin. I'm not one of those people who really likes to have that cakey look. I'd rather have blemishes sticking through, or if I had freckles sticking through, than having like a completely one shade, really flat, dull looking face. This is the most buildable foundation I've tried in a really long time. This foundation is around $34, which I found a little bit extreme. I am a hardcore like drugstore makeup, drugstore foundation junkie. All of my foundations come from the drugstore. I love Revlon, I love Neutrogena, and all the things like that. But at the same time, I'd always really wanted to try a high-end foundation to see if I can tell the difference. You're really not going to see me going out and buying like a $60 foundation. So when it comes to a high-end foundation, $34 is really not that bad for a foundation that really you get so much for what it's worth. I have a lot of drugstore foundations, and as much as I love them, sometimes I feel like I do have to use a little bit of extra product. This is so pigmented, and a little bit goes a very long way. So when it goes down to it, if you boil it down to how much you're using, for me, when I repurchase drugstore foundations, I'm repurchasing every couple months. This, I can't imagine I would use up in the entire summer. Thanks to my new camera quality, you can see every little imperfection, so you're really gonna see how well this foundation does work. I have quite a bit of acne scarring and very uneven skin tone, and it works amazingly well. And if you guys have acne prone skin and you're looking for a good foundation that not only covers your acne but doesn't create more, I would definitely try this out. So you can buy this at Sephora, at Benefit counters, and Macy's, and Nordstrom's, and all those places like that. I definitely recommend this foundation. It is, like I said, one of the best ones I've ever tried. It's hands down my favorite one for right now. And if you guys want to see how I apply it and everything, keep on watching. So this is me with absolutely no makeup on. I know I look definitely a lot younger and really different. So the first thing I'm going to be using is the Cedaphil Daily Moisturizer in SPF 15. I totally recommend it. It's so nice for dry skin. I've heard people even with oily skin really like it. So now I'm gonna let that soak in. So the next thing I'm gonna be using is the Tarte Clean-Slate Poreless Face Primer. This is my absolute favorite face primer. Basically what a face primer does is it kind of creates a barrier between your skin and your makeup. So you don't actually get like the foundation sinking deep into your pores. This kind of creates a layer between it. And I really recommend primers for every single person there is. It keeps your makeup lasting all day, but on top of that, even if you don't need your makeup to last all day, it just makes it look so much better. It doesn't really settle into fine lines and wrinkles if you're older, and it doesn't really like make your active breakouts get kind of gross and all that stuff. It kind of just creates a really nice second skin. And so now I'm just going to wait for this to soak in. So I just turned it on a few extra lights, so maybe that's why the lighting kind of shifted a little bit. Okay, so the foundation I'm using is the Benefit Hello Flawless Oxygen Wow Foundation, and I'm in the shade I'm So Money Honey. First off, I'm going to start by using kind of half a pump, and then I'm going to use my ring finger to apply it directly to my face. I love using brushes for my foundation, but I don't like using them to like physically apply the makeup. I just like using them to blend it in. I don't know if that's just me, but I feel like no matter what brush I use, it always soaks up the product. So if you guys like using brushes, but you feel like it kind of soaks up the product you're using, apply it to your face first, then just blend out with the brush. Okay, and forgive me if I'm looking right there because that is my viewfinder, so I'm kind of using that as my mirror. But the brush I'm using to blend in my foundation is the new Sigma Flat Top Angled Kabuki. This is the F88. I'm a huge fan of Sigma brushes. Their Sigmax line is actually my favorite. I have another review of the entire Sigmax line down below, and I will link that. But this is a new one, and it's angled, and I really like it for my foundation just because it's flat, so it gets all over there. But then when I put under the eye or like around my nose, I feel like it just blends so easily because of the shape. I'm just a huge fan of this. I will have it linked directly right in the down bar where you can buy this exact brush. So now I'm just going to blend it into my skin, and it's so soft and it blends so nicely. These brushes are amazing, amazing, amazing. I can't recommend them enough. But they work really well with this foundation because it's a very liquidy consistency. So having the duo fiber really blends it in super nicely. I really didn't use that much, which I really, really like about this foundation because it's so thin and feels kind of liquidy, but at the same time it has amazing, amazing coverage. The fact that you're getting you're getting your money's worth. That's what I was trying to say. Because you're hardly using any product and it really does make a huge difference in your skin. So now if you have any more blemishes or red spots to conceal, I obviously do, take your concealer. This is my MAC Pro-Longwear Concealer in NW20. I've started using this concealer since the day it was released by MAC. It's my favorite concealer. I love it, love, 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 love it. Putting the concealer in the areas where I get most red throughout the day. So around my nose, right here, a little breakout. Right there. I put it in the corner of my eyes just because my eyes get kind of dark. By taking a little bit of a concealer down in a V motion, just because I really like having a very bright under eye area. I look like a freakazoid. But I'm going to blend this in, and for blending I'm using the Sigma Precision Angled P88 brush. It's basically the same brush, only tiny. Again, they have all of these in the Sigmax line. They have the rounded one, they have the flat top kabuki, they have a different kind of angled kabuki, but this one is the flat top angled kabuki, which I love. Again, it's perfect for blending everything in. So I'm just gonna take this and blend in all around. Blends fantastically. You guys can see for yourself how nicely it is blending. And now we're gonna go into our under eye concealer. If you're like me, you're an insomniac and you never sleep. So my favorite concealer to use for the under eyes is Erase Paste by Benefit. It is so creamy and it's just covers better than any other under eye concealer I've ever used. So I'm gonna use my finger for this and just apply it and pat it in. Pot is very unsanitary by just sticking your fingers in repeatedly, but because I don't use it on blemishes, I don't really get any sort of acne sort of bacteria in the pot, and because I only use it on myself, I don't really feel that bad. It's not that gross. Look how much of a difference that made on my under eye circles. It's literally amazing. Now I'm gonna go with my powder. I do have dry skin, but I really like setting my foundation with the powder. I just feel like in the summertime especially, it makes it last so much longer. And my favorite powder to use is the Bare Minerals in Original. I feel like this is a really underrated powder. It's a pretty full coverage powder, so using it with a big brush kind of diffuses it, makes it so it's a little less full coverage. Now going back in with the small angled brush, I'm going to dip that right into the powder, and I'm going to set my under eye concealer. I think this is really, really important if you guys have bad under eye circles or dark circles or something like that. You really need to set it, just because that's the only way it's really going to stay put as long as you want it to. And under eye circles are really not something you want peeking through at like 5 o'clock in the office and you're like, oh, I look great. Okay, so that is it. That is my foundation routine featuring the Benefit Hello Flawless Foundation. Okay guys, so I hope you enjoyed. I definitely can see that the quality, you can really see the flaws in my skin, but whatever. So thank you to the star of this video, the Hello Flawless Foundation. I will have all the links for where to buy this foundation in the down bar. And then in the comments, I want you guys to tell me what's your absolute favorite Benefit product. I've been recently getting a lot more into Benefit. I've always loved it, but I really want to try out some new Benefit things. So you guys tell me what your absolute favorite Benefit product is, hands down. Okay, and I will talk to you guys later.